Alright, so magandang umaga. Okay, sa new topic tayo. Hindi ako nakapasok ngayong week, last Tuesday since medyo masakit yung ulo ko. Tipon, siguro. And also, para hindi na rin tayo mahirapan sa schedule kasi mag-quiz yung isang section and the other section will not. So, medyo magiging conflict sa schedule. So, I decided na take a little short break kumbaga, para hindi tayo masyado exhausted. Okay? So, tapos na tayo sa first portion. So, by the way, we have three portions actually dito para sa numerical solutions to see problems, okay? So, mic ko. The first portion is actually yung ating linear equations, okay? System of linear equations. And then yung pangalawang portion is the non-linear equations. And then yung pangatlo is the numerical integration. So, tapos na tayo dun sa unang part, which is yung ating linear equation. So, you can solve a system of linear equation regardless kung gaano kalaki or gaano karami yung nung system. Okay? So, ngayon, pupunta naman tayo dun sa tinatawag na non-linear. Alright? So, ano ba yung mga tinatawag na non-linear equation? So, non-linear equation are equations with a degree of 2 or more, such as the following. Okay? So, pag sinabi nating linear, yung power or yung pinakamataas na power ng ating variable is greater than 2 or equal to 2. Okay? So, yun yung mga tinatawag na nonlinear equations. Okay? So, for this case, dito muna tayo sa unang part ng nonlinear equation, which is yung single variable lang. Okay? Isang variable lang yung hinahanap natin or we call it the root finding. Okay? Hinahanap natin yung possible value ng ating variable that can satisfy the equation. Okay? For example, pag sinubstitutean ko ba, yung for example, itong equation yan, yung x squared plus 2x plus 3 is equal to 9. Pag nag-substitute ba ako dyan ng value ng x, for example, let us say 3, okay? Masasatisfy ko ba yung equation, okay? And if a number x or a certain number that satisfies that equation, we can say that equation is the root of that problem. Okay? Paano kapag hindi siya root? Paano pag hindi root? Therefore, hindi masasatisfy or there will be an equality. Okay? So, hindi niya makukuha yung certain equation. Hindi niya masasatisfy. So, kung equal yan sa 0, hindi yan mag-equate into a 0. Okay? So, that is your non-linear equation in one variable. Medyo hinihingal pa ako. So, we have multiple solutions para doon. Alright? So, by the way, pag-usapan muna natin pala. Okay? Yung mga non-linear equations. So, wait lang. I-open ko lang yung aking driver. And lalapit ko. Alright. Okay. So, yan. For example, yung una nating equation is something like this, di ba? X squared plus 2x plus 3 is equal to 9. Okay? Kung ito ay solvein mo yung value ng x, madali lang. You can use calculator and then shift solve it. Okay? But ito naman yung downside nito. Hindi mo na alam kung paano i-solve to kapag walang calculator. That is the problem ng karamihan sa inyo. Okay? Marunong pumindot sa calculator, hindi kayang gawin sa kamay, which is the very, very worst scenario na pwede nyong gawin. Okay? So, mas okay na mag-solve kayo by hand kaysa yung mag-solve kayo by hand and hindi kayo mag-calculate. Kaysa marunong nga kayo mag-calculate, hindi naman kayo marunong mag-solve by hand. So, that's not good. Okay? So, one thing kasi, ganito. Ang PRC or the Professional Regulatory Commission, okay? So, medyo mahigpit na sila when it comes to calculators. Okay? So, probably, sa time na magte-take kayo ng board, you won't be able to use a calculator na may ganitong shift solve function. Okay? So, unti-unti na itong tinatanggal kasi nawawala na yung fundamental knowledge na dapat ina-apply ng mga engineering students. Nawawala na yung kaalaman sa kung paano mag-solve manually, by hand. Okay? Kasi meron na nga shift solve. Okay? Pwede ka nang mag-compute ng matrix. Pwede kang mag-solve ng unknowns in 1, 2, 3 variables. So, ang dali, di ba? Okay? Ang problema is hindi na alam yung fundamentals, hindi na alam yung basic knowledge. Ang alam na lang, pumindot sa calculus. Okay? So, lagi ko nga sinasabi, assume nyo na pag kayo ang magte-take ng board, hindi na kayo aasa sa shift solve. Okay? Kaya kayo merong numerical solutions is to give you more advantage pagdating sa pagsosolve ng mga complex equations or yung mga multiple unknown equations, system of linear equation, multiple matrices. So, that's an edge. Kumbaga, advantage nyo yan eh. Okay? So, paano kapag ganito yung problem? You can use quadratic, what do you call that? So, we can use quadratic formula kung ganito lang naman yung equation natin. Bakit? Kasi, yung ating equation is quadratic. Alright? Paano ko nasabing quadratic, sir? Okay? This is quadratic because the degree of our equation is 2 or the highest power ng ating variable is 2. Okay? We can use the quadratic formula. Sorry, excuse me. Okay? Quadratic formula, walang kahirap-hirap. Negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay? Or small letter a. Okay? Given that your equation satisfies this form. Okay? ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay? Kung ganito yung equation mo, this is a quadratic equation, the standard form of a quadratic equation. Therefore, you can use quadratic formula to solve for the unknowns x1 and x2. Okay? By the way, kung ilan yung degree, for example, this is a second degree. Therefore, meron itong dalawang root. Okay? Kung ang iyong namang equation is x cubed minus x plus c, okay, for example, ganyan, a certain ganyan, so is equal to 0. You have 3 roots kasi ang degree ng equation mo is 3. And what if the degree of the equation is greater than 10 or more than 10? Okay? Doon na nagkakaproblema. Mahirap na i-solve manually. Okay? Yung mga ganito, kaya pang i-breakdown yan eh. I-factorization, etc. You have many solutions na pwede nyo gawin. Okay? Pero kapag masyado ng mataas, masyado ng complex, like for example, x to 10 minus 3x to 9 plus 9x squared plus 7x plus 3 is equal to 0. For example, ganyan. Although kaya yan ng shift solve, kaya ng ibang factorization technique, kaya ng ibang technique, kaya yan. Okay? Yun nga lang, masyadong mahirap. That is why gumagamit tayo ng numerical solutions to simplify or to ease up yung mahirap na solution. Okay? So, that is your root. Ganon kumukuha ng root. And that is the solution of a non-linear equation in one variable. Pag sinabi kasi natin solution, that is the root or the possible, okay? Or the possible value of the variable. Okay? So, for example, ang nakuha nating root in this equation, so, try natin. So, shift solve na lang. Sample lang naman eh. Kung ano ko pa kasi to. Tagal. So, yeah. Pwede kong ganyan. Ayan. For example, 1.645 which is A. Ano yan? Irrational. So, wala siyang rational form. So, this is a rational number. Okay, if this is the root, therefore, this is also the solution. Bakit? Kasi this satisfies the equation. And when a number satisfies the equation, we can call it the root or the solution to that equation. Okay? So, yun yung tinatawag na solution. So, pagka humahanap tayo ng root, yung root, posibleng maging rational, pwedeng irrational, or pwedeng real or imaginary. So, magsimula tayo sa number 3. So, pwedeng real or imaginary. Kapag ka real, pwede siyang irrational or rational. Kapag ka imaginary, syempre, I lang yan, imaginary number. Alright? So, that's your root. Paano naman pagka nasa graph? Okay, mamaya, pag-uusapan natin. Okay? So, we have multiple methods or solutions kung para makapag-solve ng isang non-linear equation in one variable. So, yung una nga, yung graphical method. Ano si graphical method? You will graph the equation, you will draw the equation, you will plot the equation, and then, you will observe kung saang point nagkakaroon or nag-intersect with the x-axis yung iyong curve or line, etc. Okay, kung ano man yung gusto nyong gawin. Okay? So, the point kung saan na nag-intersect yung x-axis and then yung curve mo, that intersection is the root of that equation or the solution to that equation. Okay? In graphical method, ang ginagawa natin, i-drawing natin, okay? I-drawing natin yung ating equation, ipina-plot natin sa x and y plane or sa 3D plane, and then, i-zoom mo, itatry mong i-zoom hanggang sa makita mo yung very, very, very exact point or the nearest point doon sa x-axis o kung nag-intersect sila. For example, gamitin natin itong x squared plus 2x plus 3 is equal to 9. Okay, so naka-on pa to. To close ko lang. Ka-problema kasi ako kagabi, nag-record ako and Ang hina ng audio. Alright, so try natin. Di-delete ko lang ito. Lala. Yan. So, ano yung equation natin? X squared plus 2x plus 3 is equal to 9. So, we have here this equation. So, ang gagawin natin is i-graph. So, gagawa lang ako ng graphing dito. Ayan. So, ayan, masyado maliit. So, i-delete ko lang ito. Then, zoom out tayo ng konti. So, hindi ko magamit yung ruler. Ewan ko kung bakit. Every time na ina-adjust ko siya, ayan, nagbaback, nagpo-close. So, hindi ko makagamit ng ruler. Pero try natin yung ruler ko lang. So, zoom out ko lang ng konti. Okay, for example, I have this curve right here. Ayan. Medyo mahirap lang. Yan, meron akong x and y plane. So, this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. So, our equation is x squared plus 2x plus 3 is equal to 9. Or simplifying, this will become x squared plus 2x. Transpose, lipat ko yung 9 doon. Transposition lang natin. Minus 6. Okay, kasi negative 9 plus 3 is minus 6. So, we have here this equation. Now, this is a function of x. So, we can say this is a function of x. Okay, x squared plus 2x minus 6. Okay, hindi mo yan maigagraph kung ganyan lang. Yan lang yung equation mo. Straight line lang yung lalabas yan. Actually, vertical line lang. Okay, the value of x lang. Okay, so if we want to graph, gagawin nating, ano ba to? Yung right side niya, right kasi sa akin to. Yung right side niya is the value of y or f of x. Okay, so, alam nyo na siguro to. Tapos naman na kayo sa, I think na ituturo dito sa differential calculus functions. Okay? So, ang gagawin ko is I will enter mode 7, which is functions or the table. Okay, alpha x squared, my function is plus 2x. Alpha x minus 6. I will start with, I think negative 6. Positive 6, the step is 1. Alright, so graph lang natin. You have here your negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, sabihin ko itong 3, 6, 8, 9, 12, and 18. This is also negative 3, negative 6, negative 9, negative 12, and negative 8, 15. Wait. So, ba't nag-8 ka? So, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. This one is 18, negative 1, 2. Sir, ba't ganyan yung graph mo? Bakit hindi scale? So, naka-scale yan. Okay, in-scaled up ko lang yung, in-scale down ko lang yung y-axis. Scaled pa rin yan. Okay. So, yan. Simple na lang. Alright. So, graph natin. At negative 6, the value is 18. So, around here. At negative 5, the value is 9. Around here. At negative 4, the value is 2. So, probably around here. So, hindi naman natin kailangan accurate. At negative 3, the value is negative 3. Okay? At negative 1, the value is negative. At negative 2 muna, negative 6. At negative 1, the value is negative 7. So, probably around here. At 0, the value is 6. So, nakamirror na lang. At 1, that is negative 3. At 2, that is positive 2. At 3, that is 9. at 4, that is 18. Uh-huh. So, hindi ko na isa-drawing yung iba since naka-mirror naman. Then, i-connect ko na lang ito ngayon. So, this equation right here is your f of x is equivalent to x squared plus 2x minus 6. Alright? And if we are doing a graphical method of determining the root, okay? So, ang gagawin natin is to locate the point wherein yung ating curve is nag-intersect doon sa x-axis. Saang points yun? Eto. Okay? Yung point na yan and yung point na yan. These are the points or the root of the equation or the solution to the equation. Using graphical method, ang gagawin ko lang is to zoom in. Now, if this is scaled, kung ito ay scaled, malulocate ko to. Madaling-madali. Okay? Kung this is scaled, for example, ito, alam ko to, or the drawing is very accurate, makukuha ko yan. Pero in this case, since by hand ito, and actually, hindi ko pa nga nakikita kung, ayan. So, parang, kumbaga, ang hirap mag-drawing sa tablet kasi sa screen ka lang nakatingin. Okay? So, hindi ito accurate. Therefore, okay, ang masasabi ko lang, the root is roots are between, or we can say the roots are, x1. x1 is less than negative 3 but greater than negative 4. Okay? And also, root 2 is greater than 1. Okay? But less than positive 2. So, these are the roots using graphical method. Okay? Kung hindi very accurate, pwede, okay, you can actually use this. Pero kung gusto mo ng accurate na talaga, the very exact solution, ang gagawin mo is, paano? To solve this by symbolic mathematics or by hand. Okay? So, ang gagawin mo is to solve this using numerical methods, numerical solution, or algebraic method. Okay? So, this is your graphical method. Now, we have multiple, sabi nga sa inyo, marami tayo. Okay, you have the non-graphical method which is non-numerical solution which is the graphical method. Puntahan natin yung first non-linear, first numerical solution for non-linear equation which is the bracketing method. Pagdating sa bracketing method, you have two. Okay, si bisection and then the false position or the regular palsy. Okay, and then you have the open method, you have Newton-Raphson, and then second method, and then the last is your fixed point iteration or the iterative method. Okay, although this one naman, all of this naman uses iteration. Okay, so uunahin natin si bisection. Alright, ano yung sinasabi ni bisection? Si bisection is a very straightforward technique to find the numerical solution of an equation with one unknown variable. Okay, it separates the interval and subdivides that interval in which the root of the equation lies. Okay, so ang magandang partner kasi actually ni bisection is si graphical. Okay, ito yung maganda eh. After mo dapat matutunan yung graphical, matututunan mo si bisection. Bakit? So pagdating kay graphical, mababa yung accuracy. Okay, mababa yung accuracy kasi nagbibigay ka lang ng range from this point to this point, nandito po yung root. Pero hindi mo mapinpoint kung nasaan ba. Okay? Alin ba doon yung root? Alright? For example, ang nakita mo is from between 0.5 po, ito 0.75 yung root. Okay? Alin doon? You have 0.51, 0.52, 0.53, 0.54, or you have 0.501, 502, 503. So, napakarami. Alright? Therefore, very inconvenient and at the same time, napakababa ng accuracy. So, hindi mo mabibigay yung eksaktong sagot using graphical method. Pagdating kay bisection method, in-increase ng konti. Pinahirap ng konti, pero in-increase ng konti. Although, medyo mas mahirap siya kay graphical, pero si bisection, siya na yung pinakamadaling numerical solution to nonlinear equation. Alright? So, paano ginagawa si bisection? Sabi dito, okay? Separate intervals and subdivide the interval. Alright? For example, using your graphical method, ito yung nakuha mong interval. Alam mo, from between 4 and 3, negative 4 and negative 3, there is a certain point kung saan nag-intersect yung curve natin sa x-axis and that intersection is the root of the equation. Okay? Now, ang gagawin mo daw is to determine, una, i-determine mo muna kung nasaang point, saan yung bracket ng intersection. For example, a point of concern ko is ito. Dito muna ako magsisimula. From -5 to -3. Okay, between -5 and -3, di-delete ko na muna or ine-neglect ko lahat ng curve na to. Partial erase lang tayo. Partial erase. Okay, putulin ko lang dyan. Putulin ko dito yung curve. Yaan ngayon yung curve ko between -5 and -3. Alright. So, ang nakita ko, the value of f of x, okay, the value of f of -5 and f of -3 has different sign convention. Bakit? The value of f of -5 is a positive value and then the value of f of -3 is a negative value. Okay? From your table, kung hindi ka sigurado, your value of f of -5 is 9 while your value of f of -3 is -3. Therefore, there is a change in sign. And if there is a change in sign between the values of the functions, therefore, nag-intersect siya or nag-cross siya nung ating tinatawag na x-axis. Alright? Kapag ka nag-cross ng x-axis, may solution. Okay? So, we can say na kapag ka magkaiba yung sign, okay, magkaiba yung sign convention ng dalawang function na nakuha mo, mayroong solution between the two numbers. Okay? The two number of value of x. Okay? So, yeah, basically ganyan. And then, ang gagawin mo is to unti-unting paliitin. Okay? Paliliitin mo siya ng paliliitin. Paliliitin mo ng paliliitin yung curve mo hanggang sa ma-pinpoint mo yung very near location or the approximate solution. Ngayon, ang tanong is paano mo siya paliliitin? Pwede bang pumili na lang ako ng point? For example, 4. Walang problema, pwede kang pumili. Okay? Ikaw ang kumukontrol ng limits, walang problema. Unless given yung certain limit, yun lang. Pagka may ginibigay sa inyong limit, kailangan yun yung hanapin mo. If ikaw yung magsosolve and through graphical inspection, nakita mo naman na mas malapit si 4, ililimit ko na kay 4. And then, ang gagawin ko, hahatiin ko na ulit yung curve ko dito kay 4. Okay? And then, ito na ngayon yung gagawan ko ng bisection method. Dito ko gagamitin yung bisection. Close the door. Okay? So, ang unang step, the second step, okay, kung na-determine mo na yung dalawang function, this one is the f of -4, and this is also positive or positive 2 yan. Ayan. So, ang gagawin mo na is to minimize yung iyong curve. Ang gagawin mo is to divide this by 2. Kukunin mo yung kalahati. Alright? So, kung kukunin mo yung kalahati, you have -3 and plus -4. So, you have -7 divided by 2. Yung kalahati, so around dito, 3.5. Around dyan, -3.5. So, ito ngayon, yung pagbago mong curve. Okay? Lumiit na yung curve mo. So, liliit na rin ngayon yan. Okay? Liliit na ngayon yung bracket mo. Liliit na yung limitation mo or the limits. Now, nung lumiit, meron pa. May natitira pa ako. Hindi pa malapit sa 0. Uulitin mo ulit to. I-divide mo naman ito. Kakalahatiin mo ulit. And then 3.5 minus 7 po, calculate nga natin. Ano pa kasi. So, 3.5. Neglect ko na lang yung negative. Plus 4 over 2. So, you have 3.75. So, around dito. Ayan. Ayan yung 3.75. Yung pangalawang section mo. Hahatiin mo ulit yung curve. Alright. Kalahatiin mo ulit. Alright. So, ngayon, nung nahati mo yung curve, this is the function of 3.75. Ayan. Hahatiin mo ulit yan hanggang sa ma-pinpoint mo na itong point na yan. Okay. Paano naman yun gagawin? By pen and paper. Okay. By hand. So, ito sa graphical, ganyan yung ginagawa natin. Medyo komplikado, mahirap. Paano naman siya gagawin sa papel? Ganito. For example, we have this equation. So, meron na akong ginawang kahapon. Ano ba yun? Move lang tayo. Ay, ba't ando yung ginagawa ko doon? So, kukunin lang natin yung equation na ginawa ko kagabi kasi, tawag dito. Nag-record na ako, yun nga lang is Nasira yung audio. Ano ba to? Okay. So, ang pag x cubed plus e raised to x is equal to 0. X cubed plus e raised to x is equal to 0. Hirap kumita. Alright. So, x cubed plus e raised to x is equal to 0. So, we have this function. So, ngayon, kung magba-bisection method na ako, hindi ko na ito drawing to. Using bisection method. Okay. Tapos, ang limits ko yata nito is from, balikan na lang natin. Yung, kalimutan ko. Bagal ah. From negative 2 to 1. Alright. So, yan lang yung limit natin. Maliit lang. So, habang lumalaki yung limit, tumadami yung iteration mo. Pero wala naman actually problema kahit gaano yung kalaki. Kasi magko-converge yan unless yung dalawang limit mo is parehong above the x-axis or parehong below. For example, yun na naman, di na nakaalis. Okay? For example, ang limit mo ay ito. Ayan. Ito, tsaka ito. Ito ngayon, ang limit mo is from, hanapin mo daw yung root from 3 to 4. Ayan, yung limit mo from 3 to 4. Ito yon. So, kung iba-bracket mo to, ito. Ito yung 3 to 4. Alright. Kung hahanapin mo yung root dito, wala kang makukuha kasi hindi naman siya nag-intersect doon sa x-axis. Nagkakaroon lang tayo again ng root kapag ka may intersection yung ating curve sa x-axis. Kapag ka wala, therefore there is no root for the equation. Alright. So using bisection method, from a is equal to negative 2 to b is equal to positive 1. Hanapin daw natin yung root ng equation mula dyan. So, i-observe mo muna yung equation natin. This is a third degree equation. Therefore, you have three roots, yung three possible roots. Pwedeng, again, pwede yung real or imaginary. Pwedeng rational or irrational. Okay? So, ang gagawin mo using bisection method is to first determine or check if there is a root between these two limits. Paano yon? Lagay mo si a, negative 2. Lagay mo si b, 1. So, kunin mo yung f of a. That is x raised to negative 2. Mali. X raised to negative 2. Negative 2 cube plus e raised to 3 to 2, negative 2. And that should be, and then yung ating f of b is equivalent naman sa 1 cube plus e raised to 1. And that is, so syntax ko lang. Okay, so alpha x cube plus alpha e raised to alpha x. Calc, when x is negative 2, the value is negative 7.86. So, 3 decimal places na lang tayo. Although, mas gusto ko yung hindi nagra-round off actually. Kasi, kung hindi ka nagra-round off, exact yung makukuha mo. Kung magra-round off ka, tanggapin mo na medyo mababa yung precision. Okay? Or maraming iterations, pwedeng marami, pwedeng maliit. Depende sa case ng iyong problem or ng iyong equation. Okay, calc nga ulit natin. The second limit is 1. So, you have positive 3.718. So, kung mapapansin nyo, okay, f of a is negative. So, below the x-axis. And then f of b, or yung f of 1 is positive or above the x-axis. Therefore, there is a certain root, a certain number. Hindi natin alam kung ilan, makukuha natin yan through bisection. Okay? So, we have a root. All we know is we have a root between these limits. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin is to cut the limit in half. Liliitan natin. We will determine c. c is given by a plus b over 2. And that is negative 2 plus 1 over 2. So, negative 2 plus 1, that is negative 1. And this will be negative 1 half. Okay? And then your f of c becomes, alright, so negative 1 half cube plus e raised to negative 1 half. And this is, so, calco lang ito, negative 0.5 or negative 1 half. So, you have positive 0.482. 482 na natin. Alright? So, We will repeat this. Okay, kung mapapansin nyo, the value for f of c is also positive. Okay, kung i-graph mo to, for example, ganyan yung graph niyan. Ayan, for example, ganyan yung graph niya. Okay, ito si f of negative 2, di ba? Positive yung baliktad pala yung graph ko. Ito, example, ayan. Ito yung concern natin. Ayan, itong portion na to. So, baliktad pa rin yung graph ko. Pwede na to. Negative nga pala yung pangit naman. Ayan, for example, ganyan. So, ito yung negative 2. Ayan, around dito. This is your f of negative 2. And this is your f of 1. Okay, around sabihin natin dito. Kasi positive. Okay, nung hinati ko siya, ang nakuha ko is a positive value. So, around here. Okay, around here yung nakuha ko. Therefore, papalitan ko na ngayon yung previous limit ko na f of 1 ng f of c. Alright? So, si f of c na yung magiging new b ko. Okay, yung bagong b. So, ang gagawin ko is 2. Since pareho sila ng sign convention, si b and c. So, si a, different sign convention, mare-retain. Okay, so your f of a is still negative 7.865. Okay, ngayon pagdating doon sa other limit, or we can say this is your upper limit. So pagdating mo sa new upper limit mo, since pareho sila ng sign convention, papalitan mo na. So your new limit now becomes negative 1/2. Alright, so delete natin to. Mali yung graph ko. Hindi naman exact, example lang naman eh. Okay, and then your f of c is positive 0.482. Okay? So, dapat 481 lang eh. Pero 482 na. Okay? So, yan. Meron na tayong panibagong limits. Alright? So, ang gagawin natin is to cut these limits in half ulit. So, c ulit. Kukuha ka ng c. That is negative 2 plus negative 1/2 over 2, which is negative 2 plus negative 0.5 over 2. Okay? Negative 5 over 4. And then your new f of c is, f of b to. Kasi pinalitan na natin eh. Your new f of c is calc negative 5 over 4, negative 1.667. Alright, so this is your f of c. Alright, so i-iterate natin to paulit-ulit hanggang sa f of c is approximately 0 or your c previous is approximately equal sa yung C current. Okay? Pag masyado nang malapit yung value ng C. Ibig sabihin, lumiliit na nang lumiliit din yung limits mo. Okay? So, gagawin natin, uulitin natin, i-iterate hanggang sa maging f of C is approximately 0 or your C previous is approximately equal to your C current. Alright? So, our A now, okay? Since pareho ng sign convention yung f of c natin from previous iteration and then the f of a from on that same iteration, so papalitan na natin, liliitan na natin yung ating lower limit. Magiging negative 5 over 4 na to. Negative 5 over 4 and then that f of c is equivalent to negative 1.667. Alright? And then your b, since hindi siya pareho ng sign convention, mare-retain. Okay? So, f of b is still positive 0.482. Okay? I suggest isulat nyo kung positive or negative para hindi kayo malito. Okay? So, kukunin ko ulit yung gitna nila. So, you have negative 5 over 4. Okay. Minus negative 1/2 over 2. So, you have negative 7 over 8. And then f of c, this is a, sorry, calc, negative 7 over 8. So, negative 0.253 R. So, pareho ulit yan ng sign convention ng ating previous f of a. So, papalitan ngayon natin yung a natin, magiging negative 7 over 8 na siya. Okay? And then your f of a becomes negative 0.253. And then your b will retain its previous value. This is still positive 0.482. Okay? So, kukunin ko ulit ngayon yung C. Okay? The new value of C will be negative. Negative. Ito kasi yan. Negative 7 over 8 minus 1 half. Okay. Over 2. So, you have negative 11 over 16. So, half negative 11 over 16. So, you have positive na ngayon. F of C is a positive number which is equivalent to positive 0.178. So, this is now your upper limit. So, yung lower limit, since ang nakuha nating f of C from our previous iteration is hindi kamukha ng sign convention, which is yun yung gusto natin. Okay, the value of A will retain, or the lower limit will retain, and then its f of A will also retain. Okay? Okay, in this case naman, si B, since the value of your previous f of C is also positive, similar sa sign convention ng iyong f of B from your previous iteration. Therefore, papalitan na natin yung upper limit natin ng negative 11 or over 16 or the previous value of C. Then you have your f of B now is positive 0.178. Okay? You will get a certain value of C ulit. So, negative 7 over 8. Okay? Minus 11. So, plus dapat, pero kasi negative naman yung sign convention. Ginagawa ko na lang minus. Negative 25 over 32. And then your f of C is equivalent to calc negative 25 over 32. So, this is negative 0.019. Alright. Pero, by the way, bilangin muna natin yung iteration. Nakalimutan ko pala. So, this is your first iteration. So, this is your iter 2, iter 3, iter 4. Okay, iter 5 na pala tayo. So, we have now iter 6. So, negative 0.019, negative. Therefore, mababago ulit yung ating lower limit. So, magiging negative 25 over 32 na to. And then, our f of A now becomes negative 0.019. Okay, and then your B is retained. Negative 11 over 16. And then your f of D is positive 0.178. Okay, kukuha tayo ng panibagong value ni C. That is negative 25 over 32. Okay, dadagdag natin yung 11 over 16. Tapos, di-divide natin sa 2. You have negative 47 over 64. Okay, and then your f of C is, okay, calc negative 47 over 64. So, you have positive 0.084. Okay, so this is now your new limit, upper limit. So, pagdating natin ng iteration 7, since pareho ng sign convention si B and C, si f of B and f of C, okay, so your new upper limit will be 0.08, negative 47 over 64. So, A is equivalent to negative 25 over 22. Kasi, iba yung sign convention ng f of A kanina, okay, sa f of C. Okay? Pagdating kay B, since pareho sila ng sign convention, so, C na yung gagamitin natin bagong limit. Okay? So, this is positive 0.084. And then, you will get another value of C, which is negative 25 over 32. Okay, minus 47 over 64. Then, i-divide mo sa 2. So, you have negative 97 over 123. Okay? So, your f of C now is calc negative 97 over 123. Negative na ngayon, 0.036. Okay, so negative, punta tayo sa iteration 8. Okay, iter 8. Your A, since negative ito, papalitan na natin yung ating lower limit. Magiging negative 97 over 123 na to. And then your new f of A is negative 0.036. Okay? And then your B is retained, negative 47 over 64. And then your f of D is positive 0.084. Alright? And then your C is negative 97 over 123. Okay, minus of 47, oops, 64 divided by 2 equals, ano to? 97 over 123, negative 47. Wala ba itong rational part? So, tingin ko wala. Negative 0.761. Okay, and then your f of C is calc negative 0.761. 0 point positive to. 0.026. Okay, so parang may mali. 1, 2, 3, 47, 64. Tuloy natin. So, negative yung value ba? Positive. So, iteration 9. So, parang meron akong na-miss. Tamang rational form. Tamang rational form. Review lang natin. So, ganda na lang. Okay, so iteration 9, A. Ano yung A na natin this time? Retained, negative 97 over 123. And then your f of A also retained, negative 0.036. And then B is negative 0.761. And f of B is positive 0.026. Okay, your C becomes negative 97 over 123. 123 ka talaga yan. Doon yata ako na mali. 0.761 over 2. Negative 0.775. And then our f of C is 12 negative 77. Oy, this is negative 0.0048. So, yan. 0.004. Okay. Since example lang naman ito, okay na to. Okay. We can say that the value of x is approximately equal to negative 0.775. So, yan yung possible value ng x. Okay, when we use the bisection method. And the exact answer is chip solve. Boom. Negative 0.773. So, maliit. 0.002 difference. Okay? So, this is the value. Uy. So, value of x from bisection method. Okay? And then, x is equivalent daw to negative, ito, equal sign na to, hindi na approximate ha. Negative 773. So, this is the true value in 3 decimal places. Okay? True value in 3 decimal places. So, our precision for this problem. So, your precision is equivalent doon sa original value ng x, absolute, minus doon sa absolute value ng iyong approximate. Alright. So, this will become around 0.773 minus 0.775. Liit, di ba? So you have a precision of 0.002. So this is your precision. Okay, so ang precision natin kapag ka nagsosolve in quizzes is 0.001. Okay, yan yung gusto kong ma-meet nyo lagi. Alright, paano natin makukuha yung 0.001? I-extend pa natin yung iteration. So probably iterations 10 or 11, makukuha mo na yung 0.001. Okay, so you get now the value of x since your f of c is approximately 0. Okay? And, kung mapapansin nyo, yung previous value ng C and yung current value ng C is halos equal na or masyado nang malapit. Kung kukunin mo pa yung pangalawang value, since ang magiging limit mo na is 775 to 761. Okay? So, kung kukunin mo pa yung pangalawang value ni C is halos nandun na lang sa average. Okay? So, pwede ka nang tumigil kung ang nakuha mo na is 0.001. Since nandito pa lang naman kayo sa undergrad. Pero pagka dumating kayo sa postgraduate, kung magma-master kayo, ang nire-require sa amin precision normally is 1 times 10 to the negative 10. Okay? So, yan yung aming hinahanap. Ilang zero yan? Siyam na zero. Alright? Bago namin nakuha yung tamang sagot. So, napaka-delicate or napaka-sensitive sa precision. Okay? So, to increase your precision, wag kang mag-round off. Okay? That is the solution para ma-increase mo yung precision mo. Wag kang mag-round off. Pero since napaka-inconvenient naman, napaka-inconvenient kung ang gagawin natin is every time we compute, susulat natin in 10 decimal or 12 decimal places yung ating sagot. So, napaka-inconvenient. And also, mauubusan naman tayo sa store function. So, although may mga techniques naman, may calculator techniques. So, hindi ko na ituturo yung Caltech. Okay, na yung dumiscover noon kung paano nyo mapapadali sa calcu. Mahusay naman kayo magpipindot ng calcu. Kayo na yung mag-discover, okay? So, kasi masyadong nagiging nawawala yung goal na maging ano kayo by hand, maging tawag dito knowledgeable sa on-hand solution. So, kapag ka tinuturo ko lagi yung Caltech, nawawala na yung purpose, kumbaga. Okay? So, that's it siguro. Iteration lang naman ito. So, isang example lang. And then, may bibigay naman ako sa inyong learning material, which is this one. So, ang ginawa ko na dito is naka-Excel. Bakit ko in-Excel? Para mapersa kayong isolve. I-try nyo isolve, isa-isahin nyo kung tama ba or mamimit nyo yung nakuha ng Excel, which is actually tama naman to. Okay? So, yun yung purpose ko lagi kung bakit ganito lang yung nilalagay ko. Ayoko na nag-i-spoon feed. So, you have to study on your own. Okay? Try to understand since meron na kayong pattern with this video. Okay? So, try to understand kung paano sinosolve. Madali lang naman kasi. Pagdating kasi sa iteration method, paulit-ulit lang ginagawa. So, kumbaga, ang boring. Kumbaga, walang exciting part. Kasi paulit-ulit mo lang ginagawa hanggang sa lumapit ka lang sa true answer. Okay, so I think this is enough kasi nasa college naman na kayo. So third year na kayo. I hope you can now understand or you can now paano ba tawag dito? Meron na kayong tawag dito. Hindi na kayo kailangang i-push. Kumbaga, meron na kayong self ano ba tawag dito? Discipline, okay? Meron na kayong disiplina na mag-aral. Alright? So, hindi na kayo first year, wala na tayo doon sa part na ini-spoon feed kayo. Okay? So, try to practice this problem. Nandyan yung step, nandyan yung sagot. I-try nyo kung masosolve nyo. Okay? You have this equation. Ayan. So, yan. Itong isang to medyo challenging. Yung sample problem number 2. So, I suggest, pag-aralan nyo to. Okay, by the way, 10 iterations lang naman yung nangyayari. Kaya namang isolve. So, naka 9 iterations nga tayo kanina eh. So, kaya naman. Okay? So, I think that's it. By the way, this will be part of your quiz next week. So, hopefully everyone could watch this video and try to assess yourself kung kaya nyo bang mag-solve ng bisection method. And then, kung hindi, practice more. So, tatlong iteratives method lang naman yan. You have your una, ano yan? Jacobi iteration, you have the Gauss-Seidel, and then this one. Okay, yung unang dalawa is for linear or system of linear equation. Ito naman is non-linear equation. So, madali lang actually. Okay, baka isama ko yung graphical. Try nyo na lang din. So, itatry ko lang mag-graph. So, kung graphical lang naman, ang ibibigay nyo lang sa akin is, syempre, mas malapit, mas maganda. Ayan, no? Point system tayo. Kung sino yung pinakamalapit, siya yung maganda. Ayan. So, ganyan lang kaigsa yung bisection method. Ito actually yung pinakamadaling magiging topic natin. So, very straightforward. So, I think that's it and magandang umaga. Mag-ingat kayo for the rest of the day and make sure na prepared sa quiz next week. Ha? Maraming salamat and ingat-ingat.